Alright then, so ultimately a user is going to be clicking on the cards to make choices about which ones they want to try and match. And we need a way to store those cards or those choices that a user makes, so that when they've chosen two cards, we can compare those two cards to see if they match or not. So we'll create a bit of state for each card choice that they make. So I'm just going to paste these two bits of state in called choice 1 and choice 2, and they're both null to begin with. But then when a user clicks on a first card, we'll update choice 1 to be that card. Then when they click on a second card, we'll update choice 2 to be that card. So next up, we need to add a click event to each card. So let's head to the single card component to do that. Now, the click event needs to be on the back of the card, the cover, because later we won't be showing the front until a user has clicked on the back of it. So first of all, what I'm going to do is add some kind of on click to the back right here. So let me do that over here, on click, and we'll set it equal to some kind of function. Now I'm going to call that function handle click like so. And I'm just going to move a few of these down onto new lines so it's formatted a bit better and easier to read, like so. Alright then, so now let's create this function called handle click inside this component. So const handle click and set that equal to a function. And what do we want to do inside this function? Well, we basically want to update some state. We want to update state in the app component, and it's either going to be choice 1 or choice 2. Now we can't do that directly from here. We can't set the state directly from here. We need to do it inside this component. So what I'm going to do is create another function inside this component which enables us to handle a choice. So let me first of all get rid of this. We don't need to keep logging that to the console. Then a comment, handle a choice, and then a function. So const handle choice, and I'm going to set that equal to a function. And this function is going to take as an argument the card that a user has chosen. So inside this function now, what I'm going to do is first of all log that to the console. Console.log card, and now I'm going to pass this in as a prop down here to the single card. Now again, I'm just going to format this a little bit better so we can read it easier, putting these on their own lines. And now we need a handle choice prop, and we're going to set that equal to the handle choice function. So we're passing this function in as a prop to the single card component. And remember, it takes a card argument that we then log to the console. So inside the single card, we can extract that in the props object, handle choice, like so. And then we can call that function over here, handle choice, and pass in the card that we've chosen. Remember, we have access to the card right here, because for this single card, we pass in the card as a prop. We did that right here. Okay, so we're passing now this card into the handle choice function, which is defined in the app component right here, and we're logging it to the console. So let's see if that works first of all. Alright, so in a browser we see these warnings saying these different variables are assigned a value but never used, but don't worry about those for now, we'll get rid of those later. But what I want to test is when we click on one of these cards, well, nothing's working when we click on the front, but that's correct because we attached the click event to the back. So if we click on the back of this helmet, for example, we can see that we get that card logged to the console, which is the helmet. Now, if we click on one down here, it should be the potion. Yep. And if we click on this one, it should be the shield, etc. So this is all working. It's logging the card to the console. So now what we need to do is update this state right here, either choice 1 or choice 2, with whatever card that they chose. But how do we know whether it's choice 1 or choice 2? Well, if we think about it, we could check what choice 1 is inside this function. Now, if it has a value, it means that we already have a choice 1. They've already selected something. If it doesn't have a value, it means we haven't selected something. All right? So if it doesn't have a value, then we're going to update choice 1. If it does have a value, then we'll update choice 2, and we can do this using a ternary operator. So let's get rid of the console log for now, and then what I'm going to do is say instead choice 1 and a question mark. So it's going to evaluate this. Now, if it's null, then it's going to be false. If it's not null, if it has a value, it's going to evaluate as true. Now, we're going to return two values here, and they're both going to be a call to either set choice 1 or set choice 2. So let me write this out first of all, and then I'll explain it. In fact, I'm just going to paste this in. So on the left, we have set choice 2 to be the card. On the right, we have set choice 1. So if this is null, then it means that we don't have a selection for choice 1. Now, if this evaluates as false, if it's null, then the thing on the right of the colon right here is run. So it updates choice 1. Now, if this is not null, then it has a value. It means we already have a selection for choice 1, and it will be true. Now, if this is true, it's the thing on the left of the colon that will run. So in that case, we update choice 2 because we already have a value for choice 1. Okay? So then, now we're handling those user selections and we're updating either choice 2 or choice 1.